Error record? Oh, maybe not. I don't know. We good?
There's always a bit of a delay. Oh, hey!
Are we live?
I'm looking at YouTube and something is up.
Error
Hey,
record? Oh, oh, maybe not. Perfect. I'm glad my technical confusion is captured for all of
Interesting.
eternity.
Oh my goodness. Wow, it actually looks good. Riverside kind of updated. Remember how it used to be like real small boxes of the videos?
Well, it's that when we're sharing the screen.
Oh. Oh, god damn it. Well, Riverside, get on it.
I know. Yo,
Oh my
what up,
gosh.
Madison? We got Joshua, Sam, so many people.
Oh goodness.
Heck yeah.
This was so last minute, so thank you for the folks who are probably in the middle of their workday,
Yeah.
pulling this up on a browser on the side, which you love to see. Technically, I'm also in the middle of my workday, but it is what it is. It's Dune o'clock.
Excellent.
Levi says it's working. Great. Let us know if there's any audio problems, folks. But I think we're just going to jump right in because
Yeah.
it is the middle of the workday. So you have the trailer, Leo. You're going to cast it for us. We're going to watch it live together, and then we'll talk about it. Just be careful not to open that super secret Couch Bar future projects
Oh, the
folder.
Gumjabar secret plans folder.
Yeah. Just
No worries.
careful not to open that one on
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah. Don't want to let loose our secret plans.
Right. The
Okay.
stream looks good. Riverside did update. Yo, I take my shade at Riverside back.
Does it?
Look, it blows us up like a little bigger.
Hey, that's not bad at all.
That's not bad at all. All
There
right,
you
Madison
go.
confirms it looks good and it sounds good. Jacob, it's the Dune boys.
Oh my
It is
God,
us.
Joshua just got back from the ER.
Whoa, Joshua, I hope you're doing well. Best of luck on the recovery. Okay, let's watch this thing, Leo. Let's do it.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited.
You haven't? Okay, I already watched it.
Oh.
I can never control myself.
Okay. Well, glad one of us waited.
Wait,
All right.
1080p?
It's the
This
Max.
is the official one on the official Max YouTube channel?
It's Brian Herbert writing. They couldn't afford 4K.
Okay, all right, well.
It's an eye. It's a nebula.
10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides. Before the universe would know us as the Bene Gesserit. We founded a sisterhood. Assigned to the great houses to help them sift truth from lies. We created a network of influence throughout the Imperium. But power comes with a price.
A sister on the throne. Nothing is more important. And this is the marriage that makes it possible. This is us playing God, and we will be judged for it. Valia Harkonnen.
Oh.
Sisterhood above all.
Yo. That looks really cool.
It does look. Can you play it again? I'll be honest. I was pulling my iPad out to take notes, so I didn't watch more than 2 seconds of that. It's
Okay,
short.
let's
I'm
watch
sorry.
it
I'm sorry.
again.
One more time. One more time, folks.
One more time.
I want to take notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Birth of Paul Atreides. Before the universe would know us as the Bene Gesserit. We founded a sisterhood. Assigned to the great houses to help them sift truth from lies. We created a network of influence throughout the Imperium. But power comes with a price.
A sister on the throne. Nothing is more important. And this is the marriage that makes it possible. This is us playing God, and we will be judged for it. Valia Hearken.
Okay.
Sisterhood above all.
Okay.
Damn.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay. Quite a few thoughts. And of course, we have to go through second by second. First up, what are you thinking? What are you thinking broad strokes?
Broad strokes, initial reactions. I had the same thought now
Before-
that I had when I first watched it. It's giving Foundation. If people have seen the Foundation TV show, the set design is very Foundation. Angular hard lines, imperialistic empire. I'm willing to give a bit of leeway on that because a lot of sci-fi imperial empire vibes are basically the same. And you could probably say that this looks like a lot of other shows as well. But I recently rewatched some Foundation, and so it's fresh on the mind.
I was going to say this looks shockingly like Villeneuve's
Yes.
world. I mean, from the
Yes.
color palette of the outside, this is Caladan, 100%. The Imperial Throne Room has a lot more ornamentation than he was doing. He did the kind of like brutalistic minimalist.
Right.
And some of these moments maybe read more Foundation for me. A lot of the like,
Yeah. In particular, the shot of presumably the Emperor, that right there on the throne. That throne is very, that might as well be a set they borrowed from Foundation, because I'm
Oh,
pretty
really?
sure I've seen that before. Yeah, it's not a knock. The Foundation is a beautiful show.
yeah.
So this is not me knocking this. In fact, I'm quite impressed by the set design, the visuals. This shot in particular is really beautiful. Whatever this coronation ceremony here is, or maybe perhaps a wedding ceremony.
Yeah, it's a wedding. It looks like a sort of child husband to the like adult woman weird political arrangement thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I also like the pomegranate that's coming up here that they open. God, I love pomegranates.
Pomegranate's so
Like
good. but
top 3 favorite.
this makes me
fruit.
uncomfortable. This shot is
Yeah. It's giving horny. So
and one of the participants is a child. So anyway, okay. So yeah, you're kind of getting Foundation aesthetics.
Yeah. Foundation aesthetics. I completely agree with you that this shot in particular and the ship design in particular here, very Villeneuve. I think they've been smart to translate Villeneuve's visuals from the film as best as they can to the screen. You want to try and keep the brand consistent. Villeneuve has created what will inevitably be the modern Dune aesthetic for many years to come. And so to dramatically try and change that, I think would have been a misstep. I think they did the right thing here. Keep it consistent with Villeneuve's color palette, Villeneuve's set design, and art style. And hopefully they worked with some of the team from the movie. It certainly looks like it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm more excited about the show than I was less than 24 hours ago when we got that casting announcement. Who was it? I think, let me see. I have the tweet pulled up. Dune Prophecy Star has cast legendary Indian actor Taboo in a recurring role in the TV show. And I remember I threw shade on Twitter, as one does. And I was like, okay, well, if we're still getting casting news, there's no fucking way this show is coming out this year as they've planned. And I like to think some HBO exec saw my tweet and went, fuck this guy, drop the trailer. And then they dropped the trailer. So you're welcome, everyone.
You're welcome. Abu precipitated this by
All right,
throwing
I've been
shade on
talking a lot.
Twitter.
What do you think, though? What's your feelings here?
I think it looks really good. I'm going to put this at quarter speed playback. Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm glad, like you're saying, I'm glad that they're leaning into the visual vocabulary that Denis has established. We see the blue glimmer as the swords hit each other, and we know, oh, that's the shield.
shields.
Like, boom. I feel a little at a loss regarding what is happening. I've read part of Sisterhood, and I do not remember it well enough to map like my understanding of the narrative to this. all sounds very dramatic. Uh, looks good. I really like the effect of this finger tap. This sequence,
That was cool. Yeah.
very cool. From water to sand.
Water to sand.
What is that room?
I don't. What could this room be?
It's just a crazy fuck chamber. Just a
There doesn't
very,
look
very
like
strange.
a comfortable surface in this room to lay down on, I will admit.
You have to fuck standing in that room. Some again very cool effects.
Yeah. And then obviously this appears to be, hold on, I have the IMDb page up. Who's in this cast anymore? I don't even know.
So it's Tula Harkonnen and someone else, which are the main characters of Dune Sisterhood.
Yes. So we have Valia Harkonnen, played by Emily Watson. I'm looking at the cast list here. And then we have Tula Harkonnen, played by Olivia Williams. So that's Emily Watson that we're seeing there, standing
In the window,
In the
yeah.
window.
And then, I mean, we have this young woman. It seems like who even are the main characters?
Yeah. Well, certainly we got the Alia, not Alia. What's her name? Cast list. Somehow I've ended up on Emma Watson's IMDb page.
Emma Watson or Emily Watson?
Emma Watson.
What?
I don't know. Valia Harkonnen seems to be clearly a character since we got a name drop and a couple of tight close-up shots of her. But then this woman also appears to be a main character. Whoever this is fighting, is that the same person in the marriage scene?
It looks like it, yeah. Because here, yeah, those looks like similar women. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Hey, chat, what do you think?
Looking at the IMDb, I cannot figure out who that is.
So let me just pull up.
But yes, not Stanley Tucci, as some people are joking about in the chat. That is Mark Strong, who is playing Emperor Javico Carino.
Oh,
And
he's
to
Emperor
his
Carino.
credit, he looks royal. I like his look a lot.
Yeah, he looks good. And if I recall, the kind of premise of the book is a Carino daughter is brought to the Bene Gesserit to be trained to like begin this ingratiating of the sisterhood to the emperor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
I mean, I recognize that it's a teaser trailer at 90 seconds, so it's not going to give us too much as far as story goes, even just teasing out the story. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't really know what the plot is. And neither you or I have, you've maybe checked out some chapters of the book for some research we've done for previous episodes, but we haven't read the book cover to cover yet either.
I listened to the first maybe 20% on audiobook
Mm-hmm.
and was like, I don't like this. Stopped.
Yeah. I
But-
mean, I think we'll have to, on the show, we'll have to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
like a book club style read leading up to the release of this TV show, just to
Yes.
do some preparation for it. And I think those would be fun episodes to do, and then to kind of compare it to the book.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to read it sooner just to like be able to parse some of this stuff that we're seeing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Still no release date. The final title card of this says fall, coming in the fall, which is a big window. So still no hard release date yet. I'm sure there's more to come. They seem to be releasing casting announcements, and now we got the trailer today. So the marketing for this show finally appears to be ramping up.
I like. Where are they? Oh, where's that shot? There. I like these two guards in the center, just standing by the window. Like,
Are they guards or statues?
I think those are human men.
Can you zoom and enhance on YouTube? Oh, those are human men. Yep.
And just
Well,
make sure that
there's stairs, right? So there's probably like a backstage entrance from behind the throne, right?
yeah, it's where the performers come out. Yeah. I mean, this looks cool. Looks great.
Okay, we got some comments in the chat. Let's see.
You could probably read it in an afternoon. Daniel Dion, Kwisatz
is it
Haderach
that
himself.
short? Is it that short, or is it that bad that I would just listen to it at like 2.5x speed
Just get the
audiobook?
fuck through it.
Yep,
It's
some Stanley
496
Tucci
pages.
jokes there.
It's almost 500 pages. Daniel, what are you talking
Daniel,
about?
bro, what do your afternoons look like?
How fast do you read, Daniel?
I like Madison's comment here. Madison says, I hope they aren't too heavy-handed with connections to the Muad'Dib storyline. I know it's a good hook for the audience, but it has to stand on its own as a good story. Hard
Yeah.
agree.
And it will. I mean, this takes place 10,000 years before. I don't think they're going to do much of the like name-droppy stuff. Madison
and
says,
speaking
please
of 10,000, Levi is asking what year is Dune? Does Dune take place? Dune takes place in the year
10,191.
10,191 AG after Guild, but the Guild is not established until like 10,000 plus years after our current timeline. So technically Dune is like somewhere in the like 20 to 30,000 years in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Madison says,
please don't make me read another Brian Herbert book.
Yeah. Engen noticed the difference in our outfits today.
Yeah.
I did notice that when we went on. I was like, oh, I'm in a tank top and you're in a full sweater. You're in
Yes,
comfy
it is
mode.
actually humid and gross in New York, but I'm catching a flight in literally a couple of hours, and planes are always cold. I always get cold
True.
on planes.
Very true.
Zaptageous makes a good point. I think they're going to take a lot of liberties from the book, maybe borrow a couple of things, but don't expect a lot of similarities. I think that's correct. Given the name change especially. This used to be called Dune Sisterhood, which is what the book is called. But then there was various creative changes and actors leaving and going, showrunners leaving and going. And so I think Zaptageous is correct there. It's going to be inspired by the book, but I doubt it's going to be a translation of the book.
If it's inspired by the book, it's possible, to Madison's concern, they're going to lean more on like name droppy. We need to do this so that this happens, like that is more possible because the book stands alone pretty much without, leaning on future stuff.
Oh, Claire.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we both saw that comment. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Claire just listened to the Bene Gesserit episodes and remembered that the truth saying was the main hook that the Bene Gesserit used to get into the great houses after the Butlerian Jihad. Maybe HBO was listening as well. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, they do say something about that in this trailer. Truth saying kind of being the way they get in. Actually, I do want to talk about a line in the trailer that stuck out. I scribbled it down just now. Someone says, "This is how we put a sister on the throne."
Yeah, that nothing else is more important or something like that.
Years before the birth.
And that's a bit of a red flag for me,
Yes,
considering the
agreed.
Bene Gesserit do not hold power themselves. That's like part of their MO,
Yeah.
to work from the shadows, not to actually put an empress on the throne. But, that line feels very out of context, so I don't want to read too much into it.
Atreides. Before the universe would know us as the Bene Gesserit.
I will say this very first shot got me excited because I was like, okay, this
We
could be a shot
founded
from
a sisterhood,
a Villeneuve movie, They really nailed it there.
assigned to the great houses to help them sift truth from lies.
Yeah. So that's leaning assigned to the great houses to sift truth from lies.
Yep.
That's
Truth saying.
why they're there.
We created a network of influence throughout the Imperium. But power comes with a price.
A sister on the throne. Nothing is more important. And this is the marriage that makes it possible.
Right? Marriage to us.
Yeah.
Who.
The marriage that makes a sister on the throne possible
Yeah.
does not sound like Bene Gesserit planning
No,
to me.
not at all.
And also, this is us playing God Theodosia. Theodosia?
Oh.
Plain God. and we will be judged for
Thank
it.
you, subtitles.
Theodosia.
Yes, that is her right there, I believe.
Yeah.
Sister Theodosia, played by Jade Anuka.
Madison says, shouldn't be pessimistic. Any adaptation of Brian Herbert's work is probably going to be better than the original. That is true to some degree. My concern is how well can you build like a fascinating story if the literal core, why are we here and what's happening, is misguided or feels weird. I agree you can like fix a lot of those problems in an adaptation, but yeah, good effects are not going to make a good story out of a bad story. Will there be a quiz?
Okay, our outfits are becoming like a real discussion point here. I love that Leo could be sitting in a desert while Abu could be sitting by a fire in winter.
Yeah,
Interesting.
someone called that out. So
run cold, folks.
The 20% of the audiobook was not terrible. I just didn't connect to any of the characters. And Brian does this thing where he has like epigraphs of the beginning of the chapters, and they're just so shallow. It'll be like a chapter about a mad person, and the epigraph is like, that guy was always mad. And then the chapter begins. And I'm like, Frank used this as an opportunity for poetry and giving hints and like new angles, right? This is the man who made drum skins out of his enemies. Not just Paul Muad'Dib was from Caladan. Chapter begin.
Just only facts that you would find on like the inside of a Snapple top, you know?
Yeah. Cabbages and broccoli are the same plant?
Ooh.
That's not even related to Dune.
I just got that joke. That was good.
Thanks.
Josh makes a great point. Lines and trailers can be stitched together out of context from different scenes. So yeah, I don't want to dwell on it too much. This is very much a teaser trailer where I'm sure they were very careful to basically not let anything about the plot slip.
Loading screen tips, yeah. Yeah. I think we can probably my estimation is we're going to have the sort of two plot lines. We're going to have the older Bene Gesserit sisters who are like planning and moving their chess pieces, and then we're going to have this young woman who is going to be like falling for the sword master, or I don't know, like involved, in more of the like relatable young person.
Yeah.
So it's not just all politics. And
yeah,
there was very noticeably, this is the sort of thing I pay attention to. We got naked back man.
Here we go.
Looks great. And
a sex scene.
Sex scene.
Go, which is
Let's fucking
Bene Gesserit.
Let's fucking go. 2 sex scenes every episode. Let's go. Sick.
Perfect.
I mean,
we need full frontal
come
in
on.
this show. It is HBO, so I'm confident that we will get some sort of frontal.
And this whole thing, yeah, I'm cool. Very excited. Glad to have finally gotten this. Does feel like a confirmation that this year is possible, which I know both you and I were like, there's no fucking
Super
universe
skepty,
in which this comes out this year. So yeah, very cool.
That's exciting. And look, I mean, that gives us something else to look forward to this year while we wait for Dune Messiah TBD sometime many years in the future. And I'm excited. We'll, of course, be covering it on the show. And like I mentioned earlier, I think we'll even try to read the Brian Herbert book in some sort of book club style format and try and glean what we can from the book. And then obviously we'll cover this show. I believe I read that it's only 6 episodes. So we could probably do like an episode by episode breakdown depending on how the show comes out. If there's a binge drop, it's a bit tougher to do episode by episode. But if they release it weekly, we could probably keep up with it.
Yeah.
Zaptagius, absolutely correct. Beef swelling or get the fuck out. You love to see it.
Yeah. I also realized, Abu, when we cover the Brian Herbert books, what we can do to kind of make everyone happy is we can keep our book club style thing of the Brian Herbert book pretty light and talk about the things we enjoyed and talk about our takeaways and things like that. Keep it all very positive. And then separately, we can have a 30-minute dump session where we just fucking like tear into whatever might have bothered us that day and have that as like a separate thing. So people who want to just enjoy a book club of this book they like, they can enjoy that. And then those who are like, "Oh, I hate this," can follow up with us later.
I like where your head's at. The type A logistics person in me is, however, hearing you propose 2 episodes a week, which is sounds
mean-
like twice as much work as we already do.
Just think of it this way. Take all of the shit talking and bashing we would normally do in the episode, tack it on to the end of the episode, cut it separately.
Right. You know, we do
There.
always say that. We're like, we'll get through the script so quickly, and then 3 hours go by. But I like where your head's at. We'll figure out a format for
We'll
how
figure
we
it out,
cover
yeah.
that book. But I think we got time. We got plenty of time. Fall is so far away. We got a whole summer between now and then. That's how seasons work. And I'm looking
recap.
forward to it. So, as a concluding thought, I will say that I'm going to pull back on some of my skepticism. I've been very vocal and very skeptical about this show basically ever since we heard about it, and especially ever since all of the news kept coming out about creative disagreement, showrunner leaving, prolific director like Johan Rank deciding, fuck this, I don't want to work on this anymore. You know, like those are all huge red flags, and I was very skeptical this show would ever even see the light of day, let alone look good in any sense. You know, I expected like some shitty CW production of Dune if it ever made it to the TV screen. This trailer inspires confidence. So while I am still skeptical and I will wait to pass final judgment and I will wait to get hyped until we see more, I am less skeptical than I was before. And a little part of me is actually looking forward to the fall and looking forward to breaking it down with you on the show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I think there will be things to enjoy. And like some of the other comments we've gotten in chat, there is a feeling of like any Dune stuff is good Dune stuff. It just depends on how we calibrate our expectations. And that's also why I feel this itch to read the book now, because if the book's better than I remember it, then I'll be more excited. And if it's worse than I remember it, I will know to expect less. So I will enjoy it more when it comes out.
Yeah.
So either way, yeah, midsummer we'll talk about the book and we'll kind of figure that out. But yes.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as I mentioned, I do have a flight to catch
Yes.
later today. Let's just see. We have some comments coming in. I do want to acknowledge that folks have joined us in the middle of their workday here. Let's see. Is this based on Brian Herbert book? Oh, I see you already responded. Yes, loosely based on Sisterhood of Dune. People like your idea of splitting our book club episodes in 2. Do you think Denny was involved? He is not involved.
As far as we know, because he was initially, as I think Zaptagus said, he was initially going to direct the first episode as that
Right.
sort of like creating the thing that then the future directors
Right.
follow.
Exactly. The Bible for the
But-
series.
It didn't end up happening.
Yeah, as far as we know, he's not. Let's see. John Spates is involved. Angie, I believe you're correct. Although I think he also eventually just pulled out and was just like, I'm working with Denny. We got some movies to make.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered with this.
When we asked Patrice Vermette, and he was like, no comment.
Yeah. John Spates wrote the film screenplays. Yeah.
Oh, is that 4.4 out of 10? Or yeah, apparently it's
I think book ratings are out of 5 typically, right?
Sister.
Quick, somebody look it up on Goodreads also.
Whoa. I mean, oh, well.
Oh, here we go. Here's a really nice positive note to end on from Rana. Rana says, I've been yearning for the pop culture to pick up on the Dune universe for so long. I can't be negative about this. I'm just happy to be here. And honestly, yeah. Many of us have been Dune fans for so long. Many of you many of our Dune daddies in our audience have been Dune fans longer than you and I have been alive.
True.
And to see such a resurgence in the Dune fandom, in Dune pop culture, to see Dune, like Fade Rotha memes still happening on Twitter months after the movie has now come out, just brings joy. You know, I love that Dune has permeated the culture so deeply that it's just like standard meme format, at least on Twitter, as far as I see. And so I agree with that sentiment. Yeah. Dune has taken over the pop culture in a way that I think none of us ever expected. And as longtime Dune fans, it's a treat. We're eating good.
We are feasting. So thank you everybody for joining us. We're going to wrap it up there. My temptation is always to like visit this more, but we've got a pretty heavy production load the next couple of weeks. So we'll talk about it, and we'll talk in Discord about it. And yeah, thanks for everybody for joining us for a minute. And yeah.
Thanks so much. New episode dropping tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. What?
Tomorrow? Today's Wednesday. New episode dropping Friday. See you then. Hope you got a copy of Foundation and read it. Okay, bye.